We are being summoned to appear at the court. You have committed a criminal offense, or so they claim. Both things can be true. Our actions sometimes cause harm to society, yet we may be unaware. Or perhaps you're being wrongfully accused. Only one way to find out. Someone must have suffered because of something you did. Frankly, there's no way to know unless we visit the magistrate. If we want to defend ourselves, certainly. To be technical, they cannot reach a decision in our absence. But lately, they have started interpreting silence as acceptance. I say it is best to be on the safe side. It is best not to ignore these things. The court may think of your silence as an acceptance of guilt. If you find yourself near the forum, you should talk to the magistrate. I will meet you there. Indeed, she is. Something and more. What you're playing, however, is a dangerous game. You should be very, very careful. That is often what people say right before they die. Cleopatra is like the sun. Bright and beautiful, but also harsh and ruthless. Play with fire and sooner or later, you will be burned. Despite all of our efforts, he did really position himself well politically. I would not be surprised to see him become a consul soon. Those who have great ambitions can't often hide it, but when they do, those ambitions are usually achieved.
Salwe, I see you're on your way out. Glad I caught you. In this case, it is I who is here to help you. Or, rather, your friend. Yulia Kalida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Hercules! What have you done? Silvius! Who are you? Why did you kill that man? I assure you I do not. Why have you come here? Well, that does not sound like something I would do. How long ago was this? We're just a group of regular citizens who gather regularly to enjoy the finer things in life. Nobody is hurt, I swear on Juno Caprotina. The women are here by their own choice. The Senate has outlawed our gatherings, it's true, but only because they don't understand. They've given in to populist sentiment and slanderous rumors, that's all. Nothing we do here is wrong. Listen, I'm certain we can come to some sort of agreement. You are bereaved. Do you seek compensation? Get your hands off me! The bitch killed Silvius! She's mad! Stop her!
You want to try me too? I will kill you all if I must. We are nearly done. Go! Get the last one!
Don't hurt me, please!
I would never. Find your clothes and get out.
The great Gaeso Quinctius Aquilinus. Your reputation precedes you. They tell me you're here on business. So, let's discuss business. Indeed. I think I know who you're talking about. You seem to have an inexplicable soft spot for this girl. Curiously, I don't think you even know her name. It matters a lot. The price of an item depends on its value. Value can be very subjective. To me, for example, she is all but worthless. But she is the mother of your child. Isn't that right? That makes her more valuable to you than you can afford, I'm afraid. I'd rather not. I would, however, gladly negotiate with that patrician friend of yours. His vineyard has risen to quite a bit of fame over these past few years. The chance to make a competitor go bankrupt. Now, that is valuable to me. I have both money and time. Salve, Legate. I hope you have been informed as to the nature of our potential transaction. Go ahead. I wouldn't expect anyone who makes the kind of piss you call wine to appreciate true craftsmanship. I'm thinking I can be persuaded to part with Lucia, the sewer in question, in exchange for, say, half your vineyards. How does that sound?
What? That is insane! It's not a fair price for anything! Surely you won't go ahead with this, Legate.
It's called negotiation. Of course you are free to make a counteroffer, but I should remind you, as the owner of the object of desire, I have the advantage in this game.
The price you demand is excessive. Demanding an overwhelmingly high price for a commodity of a certain value is illegal.
Now, if you believe the law is on your side, you can take this to the Senate. Otherwise, I've made my offer. I see. And let me guess. The easy way is I just hand over my valuable assets to you for nothing, and the hard way is what? You attack me in my own villa?
What are you doing? I can't... This would lower us to his level. It would turn us into criminals.
Stupid move. There are only two of you, and no time for regrets.
By Jupiter. What have we done? We have killed a citizen of Rome. Maybe. Or maybe there was. There had to be.
Please don't be so harsh on yourselves, Dominique. You've saved my life today. And the life of my daughter.
I hope you're right, Lucia. Go pick your girl up and take her to my friend's villa.
As you wish, Dominus.
Just Kaiser, please. Thank you for being here for me. You and I both have a lot of responsibilities to other people. But my feelings for you are stronger than anything else in my life. Despite everything that happened here with Lucia, I want nothing more than to be with you forever. I can't tell you how good it makes me feel to hear you say those words. I will explain the situation to Lucia tonight. I believe she will understand.
Egypt has a queen now. You think that will bring stability over there at last?
Well, it can't hurt. She is said to be greatly beloved by the people.
Well, as long as the grain shipments resume, I guess it's all the same to us. Feel under the weather? I will attend to your health. Salve, Legate. Welcome back. Is there anything you need? You have purchased all my spare linen, and it is still not enough. I'm very sorry I cannot spare any more.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitalius Lurko's ships.
How did they manage to take the city?
The ships arrived just in the nick of time. Apparently the legions were nearly routed.
You look like you've been sleeping poorly. Is something wrong?
It's kind of you to ask. My husband has fallen ill.
That's right, you told me last time we met. Has he not improved?
He's only got worse. We had to leave him with the Medici at the clinic.
I'm so sorry. I will pray for him at the Temple of Apollo Medicus tonight.
Personally, I hope Polybius is elected Idole. He makes fine bread.
Good bread hardly makes a man qualified for Edile. Personally, my vote is for Wattier.
You only say that because your collegium recommends him.
Nonsense! I think he's worthy of the city.
Are you still looking for work?
I do have work, but I would like a new one. My Dominus is slow to pay.
An acquaintance of mine has opened a new Calpona. I can put in a good word.
That's very kind of you. I think I may take you up on that.
There was a great fire yesterday in the low dwellings. 5 buildings burnt. 2 of them were completely destroyed.
I saw the smoke. Has Crassus made his move yet?
Of course he has. He was there while the fire still smouldered. He bought that entire district for a pittance.
That vulture.
I ordered 5 sacks, and you delivered 4.
I sent my apprentice off with 5 sacks. 5 is what you received.
You think I cannot count? Or are you calling me a liar?
I am saying you got the sacks you paid for.
I did not come here to argue. Give me the 5th sack now, or neither I nor any of my clientes will ever buy from you again. I will ensure you are out of business by the end of the year.
Salve, Domine. How can I be of assistance? My father. He's working inside. Do you need me to get him? One moment.
Legate, it's good to see you out of your uniform again. How is civilian life treating you this time? Indeed I have. My family must eat. She is the youngest of the clutch. I tell her she should find a nice rich patrician boy to marry, but she insists she enjoys helping me sell what I make. It has been better, but it has also been worse. There will always be people in need of horseshoes and kitchen pots. Only the best things. You are held in great esteem in my household. For you, it would have to be something prestigious. Tell me, have you heard of a parazonium? The very same. You have managed just fine through 2 campaigns without it, but if nothing else, I'd say you've earned the right to wield such a blade. What say you? I can sell you one that you'll be proud to show off. It's a symbol of prestige more than anything. Jewelry for a great soldier. To tell you the truth, I have one almost finished. It was ordered for the scion of another patrician house who was going to be a tribunus under Crassus. The young fool bedded the wrong girl and was stripped of his military commission, and the order was cancelled. If you'll wait for an hour, I will personalize it for you and finish the work. Ah, good, you're back. The parazonium is finished. I engraved your initials on the hilt and got it nice and sharp for you. A well-tempered and carburized blade, if I do say so myself. In a manner of speaking,
As long as the men believe it, they will fight all the fiercer when you are near. It was good to see you again, Legate. But if that'll be all, I must get back to work.
That is almost twice the price I normally pay.
Blame the war in Egypt. The price will fall again soon now that the war's over.
What good will that do me when I need it tonight? I'll take 3.
I must hire 6 Surrey to take an ox cart to Suessa and pick up a mill grinder.
That's a 6-day trip. That'll cost you 72 sestertii.
When can they leave?
In 2 days?
Deal.
All citizens, be aware that the vassal Queen Cleopatra of Egypt has come to the city. By order of the Senate, a festival shall be held in her honor on the Ides. Temples will be shut and no weddings celebrated. Public festivals shall be held at noon in the circus. Wine to be provided by the Collegium Venariorum and cakes by the Collegium Historum.
My wife's family dreads the next census. I'm certain they will not be allowed to remain in their current class.
That's right. You told me they had lost their cattle over the winter.
Some kind of disease. She will be devastated if the censors reduce her father's standing.
I love your dress. Where did you get it?
Thank you. It was purchased from Iomachia's clothing market in Pompeii.
I must arrange to visit that soon then.
Finally. Mecasta, I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
There he is, the man of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know? Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Sort of. People were looking for me, and I was on the run. I could have found other places to hide, but I chose the Legion because the life appealed to me. Then Lucullus, he saw me for what I truly was. And he allowed me to be that person. That was the first time I experienced freedom. And freedom to die on my own terms. Knowing that whatever happens to me is because of my decisions. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I was the one who decided to involve you in this mess. You deserve the full story. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
Rome. Look, I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... it wasn't even my fault. It was an accident. But Mother doesn't believe me. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Kikoro to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal. I admire your loyalty. In a few years' time, I plan to run for consul. You will have to contribute a great deal to my campaign to pay me back for this.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Yulia Kalida the warrior, and Yulia Kalida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
An auction of fine serway will be held tomorrow by the House of Erasinus. Learned Greeks captured in the war against Mithridates. Strong-backed workers from Hispania and Mauritania. Erasinus has serway for every budget.
Awe, thank you for coming. Hopefully this matter will be resolved quickly. An admirable quality fit for a true Roman. This is about your servus, Secundus. It seems that last night he got quite drunk. In his intoxicated state, he got into a fight with another servus.
With all due respect, Domine, that's hardly the most relevant question we can ask here.
On the contrary, it's actually a surprisingly relevant question. Not only did he win, he broke the other man's arm.
Oh.
It is not my place to tell you how you should handle your serwi. I am not a censor. Nevertheless, the punishment of your servus is not the topic of this hearing. He is your servus, is he not? His actions fall under your purview and responsibility. There's not much to say. The evidence is irrefutable. The other servus was severely injured, costing his dominus valuable labor. Furthermore, there are criminal charges. This kind of violence is not to be tolerated. The sentence for the first offense will be mandatory. In total, this means you will have to pay 200 denarii to the offended dominus and 100 denarii to the state. Do you contest this ruling? I understand. Then our proceedings are over.
I've taken care of the payment. There's just one more matter we need to address. Secundus himself. An interesting decision. I will see to it that he's trained properly. I certainly wish you had found a less illegal and immoral way to eliminate our chief competitor. But I will accept that this can only be good for business. Kaiser will make a good business partner, I believe. We will supply him well with our finest wine and give him the best possible conditions to succeed.
I will not tolerate these high jinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Iudex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Khalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Nevertheless, that was the outcome.
Intentions do matter. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your client isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Of course you would not know that.
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. And your legatus is using you. What's the difference?
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Iudex to take into consideration that my client was once a friend of your nephew, Julius Caesar.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Julia Khalida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt, and doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will try to remember that. Wale, sister.
The Queen of Egypt, in my living room. Oh, it's such a shame she had to leave so soon. Imagine the gossip.
Do you need me?
Another round? On me. I insist. Accept it as an expression of my eternal gratitude. There you go. Be careful, though. That wine is sneakier than Khalida. Looks sweet, but hits you when you least expect.
Whose wine did you say this was?
A Carthaginian called Margot wrote it down in his book of recipes. Fantastic stuff. Never knew dry raisins could be this exciting. You think so? Well, it comes with the territory, I guess. Domestic and carefree life adds another kind of weight on your shoulders.
Or your belly.
It's also significantly more difficult than being a centurio. Have you ever tried to command an infant? It doesn't listen to you. At all. Innkeeper Aquilinus doesn't sound too bad. I hung my gladius over there to enjoy a less eventful life. Of course, occasionally the inn itself turns into a minor battlefield, but that's the nature of the business.
More like an arena, I assume.
With drunk gladiators, maybe. Somebody puked on Consul Lurko the other day. I'm not in the habit of punching my guests, providing they can pay for their drinks. What was that?
Something serious seems to be happening outside. We'd better take a look.
Let me grab my sword. Gauls are attacking Rome, but that's suicidal.
Domine, your mother may be in danger. We should check on her. As you wish.
I'll go get my blade. Are you stupid? I never thought this would happen here. Get out of this! Where is my wife? They killed him. Hercules. They killed him.
You made it. I've brought the others.
We cut a sway through the barbarians. None shall stand in our way.
This Serwis is alive.
Domine! Everyone's dead. I couldn't save them. The barbarians were looking for you.
This looks less and less like an unfortunate coincidence.
It seems like these Gauls were deliberately targeting you.
I don't know. My knowledge of their language is limited. They were talking about their Patronus at one point, but I could not catch his name. At least 4, but it happened so fast. I was trying to get your mother to safety. She tried to hide in the study. I'm sorry. They were everywhere. We have failed you.
They will pay for this.
It sounds like there are people in the study.
No time to waste.